Nah, that's so long.
James, it'll be a good read. Alright, I'll start it off. And one of them calls out to me, "Hey punk, faggot!" And then the girl and I get into the car and drive off into the hills, and we go to her room and I take off my clothes and I lie on her bed, and she goes into the bathroom and I wait a couple of minutes. And then she finally comes out, a towel wrapped around her, and it sits on the bed, and I put my hands on her shoulders, and she says, "Stop it." And after I let go, she tells me to lean against the headboard, and I do. And then she takes off the towel, and she's naked, and she reaches into her drawer by her bed and brings out a tube of bain de soleil, and she hands it to me. And then she reaches into the drawer and brings out a pair of wafer sunglasses, what the fuck that says, and she tells me to put them on, and I do.
And she takes the tube of suntan lotion from me and squeezes some onto her fingers and then touches herself and motions for me to do the same. And I do. It's your turn.
Oh shit. After a while, I stop and I reach over to her, and she stops me, and I say no, and then places my hand back on myself, and her hands begins again. And after this goes on for a while, I tell her that I'm going to come, and she tells me to hold on a minute. And then she almost there, and she begins to move her hand faster, spreading her legs wider, leaning back against the pillows, and I take the sunglasses off, and she tells me to put them back on, and I put them back on, and it stings when I come, and then I guess she comes too.
Bowie's on the stereo and she gets up, flushed, and turns the stereo off and turns on MTV. I lie there, naked, sunglasses on, and she hands me a box of Kleenex.
Meelad, what are you doing next?
I wipe myself, and then look through a vase that's lying by the side of the bed. She puts a robe on and stares at me.
I can hear thunder in the distance, and it begins to rain harder. She lights a cigarette, and I start to dress.
And then I call a cab and finally take the wafers off, and she tells me to be quiet walking down the stairs so I won't wake up her parents. What a fucking shit story.